Hey guys, it's a little vignette that I do from time to time. I had posted a how to clean a 4x4 video when I cleaned out the 4x4 after one of my seasons. And some people had mentioned that they wanted to see how to clean out the 3x3. So, yeah, this is what I do. If you guys already know how to clean out a 3x3 tent, please do me a favor. Don't even worry about watching this because you're already too cool for school. But for those of you who are interested, let's walk you through it. So, this is my 4x3, but this is the 3x3 that you are curious about. A little sneak peek. This is the Topogrow 2-in-1. So each one of these sections is a 3 foot by 3 foot section, 3 feet deep, 12 inches wide. This section I'm doing a Viper Spectra 300, but I'm going to be replacing that. And then up here I'm doing a Spider Farmer SF1000 dimmable LED panel. So anyway, in here the 3x3, which is what you came to see. 3x3. Excuse me, I just did a moving around and totally cleaned and sanitized this tent. I even wiped down my bamboo supports to keep the walls from sucking in on the plants. So, I moved my carbon filter to the back of the tent. It's a little bit of a beast. You don't need one this big. I simply got this as used from a hydro shop. You could actually get one that's significantly smaller. And if you guys are curious, I'll leave a link in the description to the one I got for the 4x4. So yeah, so carbon filter secured with straps to the back of the tent on those top support poles. And then we've got a little bit of a connection there from the flange with 6-inch ducting to the 6-inch inline fan. I believe I'll also leave a link in the description to the 6-inch fan too, which I also got used for this tent. This was my first sort of tent that I wasn't borrowing, so a lot of this equipment is used to save the light and the fan and timer and tray. And then 6-inch ducting out of the tent, and that just vents into the room. Unfortunately, I already have this outlet for the 4x4 is taken up, so I don't have any other way to vent it other than the window, and I don't feel like leaving that gap open because I'm in the high desert, so it gets really freaking hot out here, and we have a lot of pests, so I don't want any little areas for pests to come inside the house. So this just comes directly into the room after all the smells have been trapped there. So then we have a 6-inch circulation fan. This does oscillating, but I don't use the oscillating. I just really love the clamp that it has. It's a pull clamp, and it just works out really well. So I know I'm going over sort of the setup, but this is also kind of gives you a little backstory on the cleaning. So I use flood tables for this. If you guys have been watching my videos, I use it simply as just an extra line of defense to keep stuff from possibly leaking into the room, because this is in my bedroom, so I don't want the carpets getting affected if there's a hole in the stitching and I water a little too heavy on the plants. I just don't feel like dealing with soggy carpets. So anyway, yeah, so what I do is I come through and I'll wipe down all of the cables for the electrical devices. I will wipe down the devices themselves. I take the screen off the fans in every tent that I do. Wipe down the blade. If the blade's able to detach, I will take it out and scrub it under hot soapy water. Wait till it dries and put it back in. Same thing with the cover and the back. I'll also wipe that down. Wipe down the cables once again. I wipe down the bamboo supports. If it's got high CFM kit like my 4x4, I wipe those down too. And then I wipe down the sidewalls. I take the tray out and I scrub it down with a deck brush and soap and lots and lots of water. I'll rinse and scrub and rinse and scrub and rinse and scrub. You won't be able to get everything, but just do the best you can. And then I let that dry outside while I'm wiping the floor down in here, wiping down these walls. I wipe down the door here. Just wipe everything down, and then I sort of just reset all the connections and make sure I don't have any cinching that's come uncinched like this. I'll recinch that when I have two hands. But yeah, you pretty much want to just go through your tent with a fine-tooth comb and make sure everything's copacetic. I think I mentioned, because this is a 2-in-1 tent, this wall right here is actually Velcroed on. It was a crappy design by the company. Sorry, Topogrow, crappy design. So what I do is I double check that it's got all the Velcro attachment, and then I came through and I did gaffer's tape just to seal all the little holes to prevent light leaks from one chamber to the next. Also, in the event that I may have acquired pests along the way, I want to sort of keep them isolated from any of the young plants I may have in the germination area of the tent. But for those of you who just have a 3x3, you don't have to worry about that problem. But you want to wipe thoroughly from head to toe, support rails, cables, fans, passive intakes. Recheck all your ports, maybe even wipe those down, wipe those cords down. Basically, you want to get any areas where bacteria or pests or larvae may be resting. And if you have any sort of remnants of powdery mildew, or if you might have been possibly growing males in the past, you want to try and get any evidence of that out of your tent completely. Because, the worst thing you could have happen is if you had a male in a tent, and then you, for some reason, decided you want to put females in the tent later on, you best be scrubbing that thing down with a fine-tooth comb. Otherwise, your ladies are going to get pollinated down the line. So, yeah, that's just a little vignette. Stay tuned to the channel to see the next coming update. Moving a plant into this tent. For those of you who have been following the journey, moving a plant into this tent. We're doing another sort of test series under 100-watt light. This is a horticultural chipset light from Optic LED. It's the Samsung 301H chipset. And you can see other videos to see the more specifics of that, but basically we're doing a little test. And so when you're doing a test like this, or when you're hanging just a light in a tent, you want to get as centered as possible. And so I take like a yardstick, and I'll measure from the front to the back and side, side to side, make sure we are dead on in the middle. So that way you get a nice even footprint. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for checking out the video, and I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave those below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and see other videos if you have a larger tent. I have a 4x4 video that goes over all the cleaning too, and setting up a tent. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next installment. Bye.